Since it's now February and next week, next Wednesday, will be Valentine's Day, I figured I'd do a review on Family Guy Boy Dog Meets Girl Dog Valentine's Day episode. They aired a month early. Like, why did they air this in the Bob's Burgers Valentine's Day episode before February? They could have aired the episodes the week of V Day on February 11th. Oh well, so there was a flashback where Chris was little. No one would be his Valentine. Well, that's messed up. Peter and Lois try to cheer him up by lying about someone named Arthur Valentine giving him Valentine's Day cards, etc. To this day, Chris still believes Arthur Valentine exists. Like how parents lie to their children about Santa being real for Christmas to be more special, and people don't realize until they're older that Santa is not real. Everyone has plans except for Brian, which of course Quagmire got on Brian about it. Quagmire cut him some slack. The next day, Brian is so depressed and drunk that he eats chocolate, which dogs are not supposed to eat. Brian, what are you doing? He throws up and passes out in his own vomit. Remember the one episode where Stewie sees his future self and Brian died due to eating chocolate in the trash? Although there was that one episode of Family Guy where there was a flashback and Brian was eating chocolate next to Peter on the couch. And he was like, although I need to stop eating or otherwise I'll get fat. But it's so good. He was fine then. Nothing bad happened to him. Oh well. Peter and Lois tell Chris that Arthur Valentine is not real. But he angrily doesn't believe them. No, you're both lying, says Chris. Boy, I tell you, Chris keeps getting angrier and angrier as the Family Guy seasons go on. I mean, Chris was hot. He didn't want to believe it. You're both lying. I don't want to hear it. Brian falls head over heels for a talking female dog named Ellie. What? Brian's not the only talking dog in Quahog? And it's a female dog? This is great. I mean, his failed relationships with human women didn't work. A romantic relationship with an animal and a human doesn't go together. I know it's a cartoon, but still. It wouldn't happen in reality unless someone has a sick, twisted mind about doing it. Peter and Lois have a plan to get Chris to believe Arthur Valentine is not real by killing a cosplay, non-fictional getup of Arthur Valentine. Lois runs over it. Chris is hurt and devastated, then crying to his room. The thing is, the plan backfired when Chris doesn't respond at all, as he sits still with his mouth and eyes wide open. So Peter's retarded butt thought the idea of throwing baseballs at Chris due to getting the idea from Robin Williams tossing baseballs to Robert De Niro for Awakenings, but all he does is hurt him, leaving him with a black eye. Lois even told him, "You're gonna hurt him. Peter, stop it!" Then he had the audacity to make it worse by trying a basketball. He hits Chris with a basketball and all he does is leave him with a bloody nose. You retarded idiot. She told you to just move on to her plan, but no, you thought that instead of baseballs, let's just try basketballs instead, Lois. Let's try basketballs instead. You retarded fool. You should have just gone with her plan and you made it worse. Now you left your son with a bloody nose. Great job, Peter. Man, his retardedness is ridiculous. Meanwhile, with Brian and Ellie, Brian hopes to get a kiss from Ellie, but she refuses. It's not that she doesn't want to kiss Brian, it's just that she's a part of this dog show where she does this breeding crap. As in, she has sex with male dogs. So she only has sex with male dogs as long as they are the winner of a dog show. So Brian suggests and vows that he is signed up for the dog show for him to finally have sex with the dog of his dreams. And that is Ellie. So Stewie helps him out and trains him as much as he can. Brian enters the dog show and he wins. All right. But as Brian is about to have sex with Ellie, the thing is, they have to be watched. That's right. Some people are surrounded by Ellie and Brian, and they have to watch them get it on. So they can't have sex privately. They have to have the lights on with everybody looking at them. Seriously? And Brian is uncomfortable about it. I don't blame him. I mean, why the heck would Brian feel comfortable having sex doggy style like Snoop Dogg's debut album, trying to get it on with Ellie, but you got people watching and having the lights on? And out of nowhere, Quagmire's right there. It's like he's pleased to see Brian look like a fool, and Quagmire thinks he doesn't have the balls to do it. And apparently, Quagmire has a pass where he can check out sex-related things. And that's including seeing two animals getting it on. Really, Quagmire? I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, it is Quagmire. I guess Quagmire will want to see anybody have sex, let alone two animals. But come on, Quagmire, really? It was funny when Brian was saying, can I at least, I don't know, like get some Drake or The Weeknd? Oh my goodness. He said, let me, can I at least listen to some Drake or The Weeknd? Brian is so funny. But apparently, they don't have sex with each other. And apparently, Brian feels that him and Ellie will not work out, unfortunately. So, they both tell each other that they'll always remember each other. And Ellie promised that the child that she has, she will name the child after Brian. Aw, that's too bad. Because I know Brian was really into Ellie. That sucks. Ellie needs to come back. We need to have Ellie a part of Family Guy for the sake of Brian. Brian deserves that kind of love from an actual female dog. Bring Ellie back. Then let's go back to what happens with Chris. So Peter dresses up as a Arthur Valentine for Chris to finally wake up. He awakens, but the thing is, Chris still doesn't realize that Arthur Valentine is not real. No, this boy thinks that Arthur Valentine is a freaking zombie. So he attacks his father that he doesn't know that's him disguised as a so-called Arthur Valentine. Chris, what are you doing? Oh crap, Chris got a screwdriver. Chris, put it down. So he does stab Peter, but he gets Peter in the hand. Oh my goodness, this isn't good. And then Chris talking about, I watch Walking Dead. This is going to lead me to destroy your brain where I'm going to have to talk to it for an hour. Okay, this just proves that Chris has watched too much Walking Dead. Stay away from the Walking Dead, Chris. So then Peter quickly unmasked himself. Otherwise, he was going to end up getting hurt with Chris not realizing. So Chris is shocked and all confused, and he finally finds out that Arthur Valentine is not real. And Peter and Lois apologize and they hug it out. So as they hug it out, Joe watches them hug it out as he narrates. Then after he's done narrating, Bonnie tells him that his mother died, and he goes, seriously? Yeah, seriously is right. This dude was just minding his business, narrating as he watches Peter, Lois, and Chris hug it out. Then all of a sudden he gets the news that his mom died. Rest in peace, Mrs. Swanson. So that was the Family Guy boy dog meets girl dog episode. Tell me your thoughts on the episode. I thought it was pretty funny and a good episode overall. It was nice that Brian had feelings for an actual talking female dog. But it's too bad Ellie was only seen for this episode. Do you guys believe that Brian and Ellie belong together? And do you think that Family Guy should definitely have Ellie in more future Family Guy episodes? Brian deserves her. He deserves that kind of happiness. Okay, that's it. Oh, and I'm also going to be doing a review on the Bob's Burgers Valentine's Day episode as well. All right, later.